We are acting in full solidarity with Malaysia on many issues, but especially those concerning the entire Muslim world. I highly appreciate Malaysia's support for Gaza and the Palestinian cause. I also welcome Malaysia's resolute stance in fighting Islamophobia. We are determined to advance our relations with Malaysia within the framework of D8 and to increase economic development and cooperation. Let me specifically emphasize one point here. Since the first day of the massacre in Gaza, where Israel is committing genocide, we have been engaged in an intense diplomatic effort. In all platforms, including the United Nations General Assembly, we drew attention to Israel's state terrorism, condemned the atrocity, and we became the voice of Palestine, speaking out loud. In addition to more than 100,000 tons of humanitarian aid we have sent to Gaza, we took a very clear stance by completely halting trade relations with Israel. We have made every effort to ensure that the attacks would cease and that the perpetrators would be held accountable before international law. Of course, we faced intense pressure and threats during these 15 months of continuous efforts. We were subjected to character assassination by the Zionist lobbies. But we never bowed to tyranny and oppressors. We never abandoned the oppressed people of Gaza and Palestine. This process was very important for us to show the fragility of international system and governance. More than 61,000 Palestinians have lost their lives, women, children, and the elderly. And the Security Council of the United Nations unfortunately remained indifferent because of the reasons I have previously shared with you. They couldn't halt these atrocities once and for all. Right on the contrary, we witnessed a great collapse of humanitarian values and international law over 471 days. Humanitarian organizations and the international media failed the test that Gaza have put us up to. Dear brothers, for 471 days, the international humanitarian values and law were greatly lost. As I've said, they have collapsed. 2 million people squeezed into 360 square kilometers experienced one of the most savage and barbaric genocides of the last century. Yet the people of Gaza, from young to old, from men to women, embodied the word dignity. And our brothers and sisters in Gaza did not surrender. And in the face of the tyrants, they never bowed down and they never abandoned their motherland. Thanks to the heroic struggle of the resistance forces, Israel failed to achieve its strategic objectives. And as a result of a process to which we also contributed, a ceasefire agreement was reached between Hamas, the Palestinian resistance movement, and Israel on January the 19th. However, we continue to see Israel's arrogant and lawless behavior. They wanted to exile Palestinians from their motherlands where they have been living for hundreds of years, and I think this is a suggestion that should never be taken seriously. At the same time, we will never allow a second Nakba to be experienced by the Palestinian people once again. Nobody will be powerful enough to condemn the Palestinians to another Nakba. What we need to discuss here is as the following. Over 61,000 innocent lives were lost in Gaza, and schools, churches, mosques, and universities were bombed. Almost 80% of Gaza's buildings were destroyed. We are talking about an enormous wreckage of 50 million tons, and we know that the destruction in Gaza is estimated to cost around $100 billion. The culprit for this enormous damage is Israel and the Netanyahu government. Israel must pay this price alone, certainly and most definitely. Israel's government must first pay the cost of the destruction it caused. They should be charged for that, and then the reconstruction of Gaza must begin. Any damage that is not compensated will only embolden the perpetrator. Israel cannot continue on its way as if nothing had happened after such destruction, pain, and massacres. That's why Netanyahu should stop looking for a new location for the Gazans who were exiled from their motherlands and instead focus on resources where he will be able to make up for the $100 million worth of destruction that he has caused. And I need to especially mention the following. We have experienced a significant destruction in the aftermath of the February the 6th earthquakes in 2023. And we have lost more than 53,000 citizens, more than 311,000 buildings became unusable. And despite this very atrocious landscape, even before 2 years passed since then, we have removed the wreckage, we have started the construction, and we have handed over 201,000 residential units. And until the end of this year, 453,000 units of residential and commercial units will be completed. We hope and pray that we will demonstrate the same resolve in the reconstruction of Gaza. May Allah permit we will resurrect Gaza once and for all. So long as Israel will be charged to pay up for whatever the people of Gaza already deserve. This is their right. And similarly, the Israeli state and the illegal settlers will have to return the homes, the lands, and the commercial units to the rightful owners, who are the Palestinians. Right next to the reconstruction of Gaza, we also have to establish a Palestinian state with its full territorial integrity and independence, the capital city of which is going to be Eastern Jerusalem. And it is very important for us to invest further in our efforts in doing that. This is our duty for our brothers and sisters in Palestine.